What's up, everybody? Aaron with Quality Service today, Mebane, North Carolina. I'm going to show you how to rebuild a three-handle tub valve. Two handles are the same thing, 2 or 3 handle, except you don't have the diverter. So the hot, cold, this diverts it from tub to shower. This is a Gerber, so a lot of times it'll say it right on the front. You definitely want to make sure you know what you're working with and you know you can get the parts for it. Some of these, especially the really old ones, are really tough to get handles and parts for. The seals are wore out in the back. A lot of times it's better just to replace them. But take a knife, something to pry that off. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take a rag. You're going to plug your drain hole. Make sure none of your screws fall down in it. The water is still under this, but I'm going to take these face screws out. Now, a lot of your old ones are really tough to get the handles off. That's why you should always give options. A lot of times it's better just to replace some of these if they're really old, because you can't get them apart. You use a handle puller. So what this does is it goes in there, twists, it hooks the handle, and then you're going to crank and pull the handle off. It's a great tool just to have, just in case you got to get one apart. Pop the handle off, pop the trim. You got to do this. Maybe sometimes you have water running out of your handle also. Maybe it's not dripping out of the spout. If it's running out of the handle, you can tighten up this nut here. It's a packing nut. This nut in the very front, you can snug that down. As long as it's not wore out, that tightens the packing up. But we're going to go ahead and get all 3 of these out. And I'll do a video then too, also of replacing this valve. Get that unscrewed. Now we're going to go turn our water off. So I got my water turned off. I'm going to make sure it's off. Maybe bleed any pressure off. So I don't want to get wet. Bleed the pressure. The other tool you're going to need is stem wrenches. So these are, each one has different size on each side. We've got to find the size we need. It's too big. It's that one. Come in here like this. Unthread it and break them loose. Pop these all out. Keep track of what's your hot and your cold. So hot and cold ones look just like this. It's how this thing works is as you turn this handle, it cranks this rod here. It's got a seal in the back of it. Back in the old days, you used to be able to change the seals. Now a lot of times it's better just change the whole stem because packing's wore out. But where this thing seats at, back up in there, you need to shine a light and make sure there's no gouges or anything. You got to take a seat wrench to get that seat out, and a lot of times nowadays with water quality you can't get that seat out. This is on city water and there's a bunch of corrosion. I don't know if you see all that white from the hardness and the chlorine in the water. Just, it's so hard on stuff these days. But you pull that out, check it. Check that seat. Make sure there's no heavy gouges or corrosions on that seat up in there. Older ones that's been in several years, they're a lot of times they don't come back apart. This is your diverter stem. It's got a rubber seal, so that closes off it going to the shower or not, and lets it flow down to the tub spout. It looks a little bit different, but still kind of the same workings. When you open it, it seals it from going to the tub spout and allows it to go to the shower. But you'll get you some new stems. You know, it's really good to put grease on any threads that might corrode, kind of helping the next guy, helping things last longer. Put a little grease on them, thread that back in there. Same with each of them. Do everybody a favor, set screws. Anytime you rebuild a faucet, put some grease on it. You're even helping yourself out. Use the same wrench, snug them down. And then it's always good to take some tub and tile caulk. Caulk your tub spout, caulk each piece of trim where it meets the wall. Make sure your valves are off. I'm going to take pliers then, and I'm actually going to crimp these threads just a little bit, just dimple them up a little bit, just because it keeps these screws from backing back out. You know, don't get crazy that you can't get them in there, but I'm going to do that with each screw. Make sure we put the hot label. This one just says Gerber on it. Go kick our water back on. And that is how you rebuild a 3-handle tub valve. They're all pretty similar, but keep in mind, make sure you know the brand, make sure you know what trim, and a lot of times it's better, if the handles won't come off, a lot of times it's better to just replace either the entire valve or get a whole trim set. Because if they get too old, if they're real old, this one's like almost brand new. But if they're 20 years old, you're going to have problems getting them apart. Thanks for watching the video.